I'm telling you, you are called to stick with somebody who carries something that will embarrass you. That's what authentic love is. Just getting ready to be real uncomfortable. It's going to be real. Y'all ain't going to like it. 9 people getting ready to log off right now. When is the last time you visited your loved one who's in jail? It's embarrassing. You don't want them to rifle through your bag. You don't want to talk through plexiglass. You don't want to put that phone up to your ear. And the angel said to Joe, stick with him. When is the last time you went to go see that relative that's in the first or second or third stages of dementia? They don't remember you. They don't recognize you. They're calling you somebody else's name. Data shows, here's what the data shows from the Mayo Clinic, people live longer when they have guests. People live longer when they have visitors. You love your grandmother that much, but you don't see her? I'm a pastor. I can't tell you how many funerals I've had with people trying to climb in the casket, but would never go on the elevator to go up to go see them. When is the last time? I'm telling you, stick with people who are an embarrassment. Stick with people, here it is, who bring a level of shame to the family. When the last time you drove around to check on that person in your family who's strung out on drugs, dealing with alcohol addiction? Oh, I know you love them from afar, because everybody loves a butterfly, but nobody loves a caterpillar. Isn't it amazing that our love is always aesthetic? Is that without blinking, if a cockroach runs across this stage right now and I step on it, all of you will be relieved. You got rid of it. Now the cockroach ain't even bothering me. It ain't even paying attention to me. It ain't even looking at me. But I step on it and I'm wiping my foot. You fine. But if I step on with that same ferocity, that same intensity, I step on a butterfly. Why'd you do that? Because how we treat things is relative to how they look. If it's beautiful, we have more care for it. But if you really have authentic love, it's got to show up in the ugly times. When is the last time you reached out to your child or your sibling who came out the closet saying that they were a part of the LGBTQ community? And because of your thinking, you've cut them off. You don't even discuss anything with them. I adopted this agency here in Atlanta called Lost and Found, which is a shelter for teenagers who got kicked out of the house for coming out the closet. I went to go visit that shelter, and I'm telling you, it brought and buckled me almost to tears to how many of them had to traffic themselves just to eat. How many of them had to live in parks? How many of them found themselves on the other end of danger because of family? And the angel said to Joe, stick with them. Will you stick with them? Stick with them the way that God stuck with you, even when they've not met up to the goals you set. Even they don't measure up to your expectation. I know they didn't finish school. I know they're not a go-getter. I know that they don't have initiative or follow through, but stick with them. I know you're drained. I know you're tired. I know you're frustrated, but I need you to stick with them. Stick with them, because there'll be something good that will come out of it. My favorite story, I never shared it on this podcast. I failed the 11th grade, and I got kicked out of high school in Baltimore. It's one of the most embarrassing moments for my family. My dad pastored one of the largest churches in that city, and his only begotten son got kicked out of high school. It was awful. Everybody in the church was talking about it. Everybody was laughing at me. Everybody was pointing fingers. Before they kicked me out, they had a meeting with the guidance counselor who said to my parents, put him in Job Corps or put him in the military. He don't have no focus. He don't have no discipline, and he ain't college material. Ladies and gentlemen, through the grace of God, I went and got a GED. I'm the very first person in Morehouse College history to go to college with a GED, never having taken the SATs in my life. Fast forward years later, 47 years of age, I become the pastor of New Birth Missionary Baptist Church in Stonecrest, Georgia. My third Sunday here, I go out to the door to shake the hands of the members here at New Birth. And a little old lady comes and shakes my hand. I said, Pastor, do you remember me? I said, ma'am, I just been here 3 weeks. How am I going to remember you? She took off her glasses and said, take a good look at me. I said, ma'am, I'm looking at you. Please be patient with me. It's just my third week. She said, Jamal, I'm sorry you don't recognize me. I was your guidance counselor in Baltimore. I told your parents you weren't college material. A few years ago, I retired and my children brought me to live with them here in Atlanta. When they announced that you were going to be the pastor of the church, it stopped me in my tracks. Tears came down her eyes. She says, I didn't see your potential. I didn't see your gift, but I'm glad God did. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a defining moment for my life. You got to stick with people. They may not look like they're going to be anything to you today, but their story is still being written. Their movie is still being filmed, and their opera is still being sung. Stick with them.